always powered by coffee each and every time. That is the Mighty Psycho Promise. Yes, indeed. Good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, March 2nd. I'm telling you, had a good day today, ladies and gentlemen, but also a long one for that matter, too. Glad to be home at Casa del Psycho. That's right. I hope everybody is doing good this weekend. The first weekend in March, by the way. Hey, Willie, how you doing? Just got on here, so you are in the right spot. Right? Right. Okie doke. So, had some fun. As you can see in the title, 4-state record show finds and ... dig it. So, that's actually 2 places we went to today. We went and explored. Me and my friend Doug Fields, host of the Vinyl Grotto Radio Show. I can't talk. I didn't have much sleep last night. And not for any good reason. I just couldn't sleep. I don't know why. So, anyways. So we went to the 4-state record show in Carthage, Missouri. And never been to Carthage before. That was the first time I've ever been there. And then on the way out of there, after having some lunch, late lunch, if you will, we stopped in Joplin, Missouri at Dig It Record Barn. That's right. Neat little place, I think. It's expanded a lot more since its original location. We'll talk about all that stuff in a little bit here as we're going along, because I do have some finds. I don't have a lot because, well, let me go off and explain. I don't know if any of you guys out there, and I only have one of you for the moment, so maybe you'll catch this in a replay, but how many of you people out there have been to record shows, okay? It's been at least over 5 years for me, all right? So before the pre-COVID nonsense, and I was very much looking forward to it. It was kind of, I don't want to say a knee-jerk last-minute decision. I mean, I just simply, I asked, I said, hey, okay, let's go, just to take our mind off of our mutual things. Before I do get into all of that, though, see, I'm from Northwest Arkansas, so the best answer I can have for you is this, and it's none of my business to know where you live. That's private, but like I said, probably Joplin would be the closest. Like if you took Joplin and you went south, maybe about, I don't know, maybe an hour, 10, hour 20, you'd land in my town of Rogers, Arkansas, just straight down on 49. Can't screw it up too much. So that's where I was at. Once in a blue moon, we'll go to Springfield, too. That's about pretty much as far up on a regular, quasi-regular basis. I may have an excuse to go visit Lebanon, Missouri, maybe this year, but I'm not sure. That's between St. Louis and Springfield. Dwayne, how you doing? Yes, Dwayne and Lurkers. So before we get into the whole record show / record store / who did I meet musical celebrity wise? Yeah, there was one. I have photographic and autographic evidence. I said autographic. Let's go into little bits here, just teeny-weeny stuff. New subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, new to the Psycho Network. Thank you so very much for subscribing. Ivan Music Man, just for the record, and I hope I'm getting this right, Herkimer 1. I can't even read my own writing some damn time. This episode is in tribute to several celebrities today. That's right, Evening Coffee with Paul. Still working on, I finished off the first bag, whole bean. I ground up some, but I'm into the second clearance bag of Starbucks Holiday Blend. That's what I got going. It was cheap, couple bucks a bag. I couldn't pass it up. What, the Evening Coffee with Paul? I don't know. I like to go off and change the titles every so often, but Psycho Splatters has been been my mainstay for 13 years. Okay, so we're dedicating this show to several different celebrities today that have died, unfortunately, over the last week, and one even passed away, I guess, last night, maybe, based on the information I'm getting. I could be wrong on this, but so 2 wrestlers died this week. Ole Anderson, that's right, Ole Anderson passed away at age 81. He was one of the 4 horsemen. At least to me, the 4 horsemen were this. Ole Anderson, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, and Ric Flair. That was your 4 horsemen. Now, saying that, you could go off and have 4 honorable mention alternative answers. Lex Luger, Steve Mongo McMichael, Barry Windham, and Sting. Oh, and Paul Roma, but he didn't last too long. Rest in peace, roll it. Woo! And Virgil, yeah. I met Virgil back in 2010. He was at the next table over from Ted DiBiase. I thought that was kind of Chris Benoit. Yes, thank you. I forgot him. Damn, how could I forget Benoit? Maybe the rest of the wrestling world may be forgetting Benoit, but we're not going to forget Benoit. Especially since he was murdered along with his family. Ooh. Yeah. You heard me right. Go look at videos. Virgil wants to meet you. Well, he always wanted to meet people. Get a picture taken, give me $20. That was his line, I heard. But yeah, Virgil. He was nice. I made like a minute or 2 interaction. Let's see. So we got those. Richard Lewis, comedian Richard Lewis. I didn't mind him. I really didn't. I think let's see. I saw a few stand-up comedy specials over the years. I think I saw him on the Tonight Show once or twice. But one of the last things I remember seeing him, Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I'm like, that show is funny but yet uncomfortable. And I know that that's what it's supposed to be, but boy, oh boy, that's right. That's right, he did. People also keep throwing out Olive Garden. Did he work at an Olive Garden, ladies and gentlemen? Not sponsoring Olive Garden in this broadcast, although I like it. Unlimited soup, salad, breadstick. That's all I need. I'm a cheap ass, and it fills me up. If I go for lunch, I only need a light supper on my leftovers. Also, musician-wise, Dennis Conroy from the Crying Shames, I discovered this morning, passed away. I think it was last night. McDonald's. So all 4 of those, and please, I'm going to give you a little update, guys, on my granddaughter Charlotte, who was just born into the world 3 days ago. We're just going to give cliff notes here. Please continue in your prayers for Charlotte. Charlotte did successfully have the surgery yesterday. I'm not going to explain it now. I'll explain it another time. But what she had was 1 in 1,500 newborns get this, okay? So it was basically like corrective surgery type thing. And they had to keep her sedated for 48 hours. So she wakes up tomorrow, and they're going to monitor her for a week. So please continue in the prayer requests, at least for the rest of this week, okay? We're praying for Charlotte to come home with Mommy and Daddy. And Grandpa, shortly thereafter, crazy Grandpa will come and torture Charlotte when she's feeling better. All right, I think that was it for that part, right? Right. Okay. Thank you very much, and you guys are too kind. You really, really are too kind to me and everybody out there. You know, I have to say this much. This will segue into some things here. So, you know, I brought you guys up today. I did bring this audience up a lot when I was at that 4-state record show in Carthage, Missouri, and the Dig It Record Barn in Joplin. I brought you guys up, and my friend Doug Fields, host of the Vinyl Grotto, brought up his thing. And, we had a really cool time there, okay? We were there just before the doors opened. There were several different reasons why I went. Obviously, the main one was to find some records, which I will show you. I got a handful, okay? Because before I do that, I don't know about you guys, but yeah. Listen, I always keep 2 packages at all times. I'm serious. So I don't run out. Never run out of coffee filters, because you certainly do not want to use Casey's gas station napkins, newspapers, or toilet paper. It doesn't work. Don't ask me how I know. Anyways, here in the Psycho Coffee Laboratory, oh boy. Anyway, you could have a drinking game every time I say anyways. Some of you guys would probably be dead to alcohol poisoning by the end of the, anyways. See what I keep doing? Hey, I'm just telling you, okay? I'm just telling you. Don't do that part. Don't do it. All right. Back to this record show thing. Okay, there was 51 dealers were supposed to be at Carthage Memorial Hall. 50 of them showed up. One from Kansas City didn't. Not sure why, but we had some people that had brick and mortar stores. We had people that had internet stores, but we had obviously Missouri. We had Arkansas, Oklahoma, as far away as near Oklahoma City, by the way. Kansas, no, not the band. Iowa and Illinois. I don't recall seeing the Nebraska person. Maybe he didn't get there. But me and the guy from Illinois, we yippee-yapped for a while. He was from a town called Wilmington, Illinois, which is near Joliet. Trading stories about, Illinois things. So, napkins I might consider if I were camping, but not sanitary napkins, although, no, it probably would catch the water, see, because that's usually, never mind. I made a coffee filter out of some old stained underwear. You know what, Randy? I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge. That coffee was extra brown. I am not going to judge. I love you guys. You guys are crazy, just like me. That's why we all fit. So 50 of the dealers showed up, okay, and it was a little tight. That's what she said. But I mean, there should have been a bigger audience at this record show, okay? I was there for, at least in the thing, for about 3 hours. I was there from about 9 to noon. And so the thing is that there was, I would say maybe 100 people showed up in those 3 hours. I'm guessing that. I think about 100, all right? And there was a lot of young people. I was kind of looking over the demographic, okay? Sure, there was old farts like me. There was older people than me. Imagine that. So there was some that were in their 60s and 70s, and they were coming to buy vinyl. But I also saw a bunch of teenagers, too. And you know what? The one thing that I have to give kudos to is that, yes, thank God there was, I'd say maybe a quarter of the dealers had cheap record bins, and I was very happy. Some were literally $1, but like what they think are cheap is from 1 to 5 a piece. But if you bought like 3 or 4, the deal cut a little cheaper. Okay, I didn't get a bunch of cheap albums. I got one cheapie, but they also had bunches of CDs. They had, some dude had stereo equipment. He brought vintage stereo equipment. I do remember seeing, like, for example, a double cassette player from it was Sony in the box from like around 2000. I'm like, if I had the money, I need a double cassette. Okay, maybe I don't need a double cassette player. I want a double cassette player because my last one crapped out on me, which I can't even remember the damn brand. But yeah, so watching on my cell phone while I buy those coffee filters. Remember, kids, remember, get the right filter for the right coffee basket. That is absolutely important. You betcha. And Glenn, hi Glenn, how you doing, Glenn? Hey Fonzie, you can go live up in the garage. Anyways, so I'd say a quarter of the dealers had cheap vinyl, okay, or at least what I would think. But here was the other thing: there was a lot of expensive stuff. I mean, now. I'm sitting here, okay, I'm a cheap ass. We all know this. I think most of us have to be. Those are actually better for you than the white. I'm guilty. I sometimes alternate between the two. And no, not from Randy's stained underwear. As Randy's like, fuck you, Paul. Well, guilty as charged. So the thing is, oh boy, you know, I'm on fumes here, and not the good kind of fumes. I am on fumes of sleep, lack of. So the thing is that there was a lot of expensive records. And here's the thing, okay? I know, I appreciate that you're, yeah, I know. So I know this is a shitty joke. I mean, what? So the thing is that the most expensive record that I saw at those things, at least from my knowledge, the one guy had an Introducing the Beatles on VJ with the ad back. Okay, now I never saw that one. I only saw it in price guides, in books. Never saw one in person. So the guy had it behind him, and I said, "Hey, how you doing? Good to see you here." And so say hi to the kitty for me. So the thing is that I asked him. I said, "Can I see that?" And I'm surprised he didn't say "fuck you" because you don't have enough money for it. I know it, but he lets me look at that thing. Now, like I said, his price was $2,500, and I went and I held that album for 2 seconds. I go, touch, touch, touch. Took a look at the ad back. I go, "Hey, Doug." I go, "Here, you ever seen one of these?" Now at least you could say you touched it. And then I gave it back to the guy. Now, I wasn't being a douche because I went and explained why I was doing that because I never saw a Introducing the Beatles ad back. I've never seen an ad back. And if you don't know what that is, it just is like 20 or 25 different VJ albums at the time from like 63 that they had advertised. That did not last very long, those ad backs. That's why they're incredibly rare. But that was the most expensive record to my knowledge. Let's see. So on the Monkees angle, that was what I was focusing on. Was the Nope. Now, what I mean by that is, okay, there was a lot of good selection, a lot of good variety. There was a guy that, and some of you 80s people, maybe 70s, 80s, and early 90s would appreciate this, but there was a dude that originally was from England. I briefly talked to him, and he had, I would say, 2 tables worth of 45s, and some of them, like he had a $2 bids. Like he had about 3 big boxes of 45s for $2 a piece. And then the other ones, though, were obviously more money. Who was that? Hello there, Dave from Jackass Rats. Oh, good. You know what? I would love to find some Big Star, okay? I have never found any OG Big Star in the wild. Now, I have found some solo Alex Chilton. I have something, but don't ask me what it is because I can't quite remember what the hell it is. It is solo. But of course I love him from the box tops. But Alex. So they had all kinds of things. And there also was a guy that was selling unauthorized DVDs. I'm going to show you some later because I bought some, that's right. And you'll find out why. One of them was just, I don't know, it was a little cheaper than the rest. And then the second DVD, you're going to see why I bought it, because it's not legitimately released. I don't think it's ever going to get legitimately released. It wasn't cheap, like half price, 150. Oh, jeez, 150. You know what? I'm not judging. If it was what you wanted and it was on your want list for all these years, like, okay, Christopher, if I saw a mono Birds, Bees, Monkeys and it said $150 and I looked at it and the condition was at least playable, you're damn right I would spend $150. And I've never spent $150 on a record. See, there you go. Never spent $150. I think the most I ever spent on a record. One of them I've got today. Yes, I spent $25 on it. Okay, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I know I'm going long here, but I'm trying to tell you some things. So, another thing, while I was waiting for Mr. Fields, I got to talk to some of the dealers. They went to the smoker corner. I don't smoke, but I don't give a shit. You know, I just sat on the steps and I'm listening. And oh yeah, I need a copy of that. I've got Greatest Hits, Neon Rainbow, Cry Like a Baby. I don't think I've got that one with the train. And no, the Bell and Stax records are not the box tops. Okay, no Alex Chilton on any of that. Don't buy them unless you want to hear what it sounds like, but then you can go on YouTube. So, but several of these dealers, including the Illinois one, okay, they were disappointed in regards to the foot traffic because, A, this is the first time I am told in maybe, because COVID obviously took out the wind out of people's sails. I mean, everywhere, right? So you didn't have, I want to say that the record shows, I don't know about it where you live, but about 2023 is when they started coming back, okay? We don't have any in Northwest Arkansas, so getting to go to Carthage was a treat. And but several of the dealers I spoke to, one of them went off, and this was like about 1 o'clock. The show was from 9 to 3. And nice guy. All these people were nice, you know. Like I said, several states, different people, different walks of life. It was great. And they said, you know what, Paul? To be honest with you, I don't know if we're coming back again. And I'm like, well, why? You know, because nobody seemed to have issues. Everybody was pretty cordial to each other. I don't recall there being one dick record vinyl dealer in any of the 50 dealers that were there. I don't recall that. And basically, the one guy said, for me to be able to come back here, I need to make $200 to $250 in the next 2 to 2.5 hours, Paul. And he explained to me why, even though he didn't have to. I was just a total stranger. But what I'm getting at is I probably heard that from about 5 to 6 of those 50, okay? And I don't get it. I really don't. Maybe the economy has something to do with it, obviously, but I mean, it was promoted, I'd say, for at least 2 months, Facebook and localities. I don't know, you know. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I'm missing something here. Yeah, most of my Joan Box Top records, I have an OG radio. Very nice. Yeah, you ain't going to find big stuff. Maybe, what, about in the 80s? Maybe we would have found them in the dollar bin, not now. Yeah, I need it now. On the third one, yes. Coffee filters acquired. You are welcome. Well, you are welcome. Danny, is this the Oasis channel? Well, you know, later on, we could have a champagne supernova at the Wonderwall. But I don't know, Danny. What's the story, Morning Glory? See what I did there? That was all shitty, wasn't it? Those were all shitty Oasis puns. But, the thing is that it's economics can really, and I want to say out of those 5 to 6 I talked to, 2 of them were brick and mortar and 4 of them were collectors that had their online businesses or whatever have you would go to flea market-y outdoor type shit. At least that's what they said anyway, some of them, okay? Yes, I bet it is. I don't know. But that's the whole gist of that, right? But I got to meet nice new fans, old fans. Like I said, I'd say maybe I think they said 2/3 of the dealers came back, and we got 1/3 of new ones. So let's get rolling. I know I've been yapping way too fucking long. You people want to know what I got. Oasis Central, Glenn says. So how about we start with the first purchase at the record show? The musical celebrity that happened to be a vinyl vendor also. This guy was so cool, so laid back. I'm going to show you the picture in a minute. Because not only did he let me get a selfie with him, but he also signed the only CD that I could find because I don't know where the hell my other CDs are. And I kind of told him that too. I said, John, I don't know where they're at, so I'm sorry. He chuckled on that one. But I did ask him, and I'll tell you what he told me in a minute. I asked him how long he collected vinyl. And kind of quite interesting answer. So who the musical celebrity was that was at booth 27 and 28? Now, I don't know if you can see this very well, so forgive the glare. But ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Humphrey, drummer for the last 20 years of Seether. Yes, the band Seether. And, he was just so laid back and awesome. And get this, I told him about Psychosplatters. I did. And we exchanged contact information. We did, sort of. And so we're, hopefully maybe by summer, we'll have him on here. Because my son has been kind. He's moving in here in April. And he already said, hey, Dad, you can borrow my gaming laptop. And he's got an unused set of headphones. So we're going to try this. We're going to try it. All right. So coming in April, sometime, possible improvements to Psychosplatters. And if it works, then we may be trying some interviews. Would you like that? I'd like it. I think it'd be damn fun. We built this shitty. We built this shitty on rock and roll. I got to see Mickey Thomas sing that fucking song. He signed that damn album for me. I did not have the nerve to ask Donnie Baldwin how did he feel drumming on VH1's #1 shit song of all time, because he would have pummeled me. I know he would have. It's the Oasis channel, Paul, just because Danny asks. Hi, Danny and Robin. Piccolina. So, he signed that for me, which was very nice. A very nice dude. This is I hated to say this, but this is a Walmart exclusive. Don't ask me if they made it in vinyl. I didn't have the money or the time. But it's got all kinds of fun. If you know what Seether's got, we're going to go with The Gift, Driven Under, Dangerous, Rise Above This. Sorry, I can barely read here. Weak, Tonight, Truth, Gasoline, Betray and Degrade, and Breakdown are all on this CD. So if you are in the Oklahoma City area, he's not too far from there, and I am told he likes to do shows around their record shows. Hey, Tyler. That is cool, Christopher. I'm going to tell you right now. I just felt real pissed off because I'm like, where is my disclaimer CD? I couldn't find the damn thing, and I was like tearing up boxes yesterday. Oh, yeah. I don't... As long as if it's a free show and you got vinyl, go do it like I did. Because I got Mickey. Mickey was kind. He signed about 4 Jefferson Starship albums for me, okay? And then Also in the band, John Roth, who used to be in Winger and Black Oak, Arkansas. He's on some records, different stuff for him. And the keyboard player, cannot remember his damn name. No, wait a minute. The drummer, not the keyboard player. I'm sorry. The drummer was in the KBC band. If you remember them in the mid-'80s, Cantner, Ballin, Cassidy, the one album on Arista, he is there too in the band. Yeah, we're getting, I'm sorry, yeah, I know, I'm long-winded. We're going to get to the record show hall. So, but John Humphrey, thank you very much, sir. Like I said, drummer of Seether. I thought I heard they're going to go back out on the road soon. Go see them. They are a kick-ass concert because I told them I saw his band. It was 2009 or 2010 in Fayetteville, Arkansas. How do you go from Jefferson Airplane to Starship? Well, Glenn, that all had to do with Paul Kantner, Grace Slick, David Freeberg. That's how you got from Airplane to Starship, or you talking about Jefferson Starship, then you get Starship featuring Mickey Thomas, because that's how it's got to be told. There's a Jefferson Starship out there, guys. This gets even more confusing. David Freeberg, okay, is the link. He got permission from Grace Slick to continue to use Jefferson Starship. Just letting you know. So, if you have any early, like, okay, late Jefferson Airplane, because I think he's on Long John Silver and 30 Seconds Over Winterland. He's on those two things, right? Then he's on Jefferson Starship. He's also on that, what is it? Baron von Tolbooth and the Chrome Nun? Or am I thinking Planet Rock Orchestra? The thing that Kantner did, okay? And then also, of course, bass player for Quicksilver Messenger Service. And if you ever meet him, you can ask him, how about a hit? A fresh air. See what I did there? Never mind. See, yeah, they're a great band. I love Black Oak. Danny, they're down to Jim Dandy. Okay, the only surviving original members are Jim Dandy and Pat Doherty. Tommy Aldridge, of course, from 72 to 77. He's still around, of course, with Whitesnake currently. The current Jefferson Starship put out a new... That's right. You are correct on that. I heard one or two songs. You're right. It was okay. You know, Marty Ballin, damn it. You know, I almost had a chant. I called his gallery down in Florida. I was this close. Seriously, I was getting the albums prepped to send him because they did give me permission to send it to his galleries, and Marty would have signed it. Of course, Marty died a few days later, so that didn't get to work. I do have Kantner's autograph, though, on one Jefferson Starship album. What album is it, anyway? Oh, God, what was it? Not Red Octopus. Spitfire, that's what I got. Musically, Airplane with groundbreaking, the Starship was generic soulless crap. Well, okay, Glenn, but, you know, I'll tell you this much. I liked Spitfire. I liked Red Octopus. I didn't like Freedom at Point Zero, but I love the song Jane. Okay. And I liked Winds of Change and, oh God, the one with Find Your Way Back on it. I can't think straight right now, guys. You have to forgive me. Yeah, oh yeah. So if it's a free concert or real cheap, bring your albums. I'm told they do free meats afterwards. Not ham and turkey, but free meats. Yes, that's right, Hot Tuna, and they still go out occasionally, I guess, from what I heard. You know, Marty Ballin did have a smooth voice, and I wasn't very big on his ballad stuff, but I love Hearts. Hearts was a nice song. Yeah, that's right, that's what I'm talking about, St. Augustine, Dave. I actually called up the gallery office the week before Marty died, and they're like, sure, bring them, you know, send them down, we'll give it to them. I like to, yeah, well, I can understand that. Okay, I can. Let's see. So the last Jefferson Starship with the original was Nuclear Furniture, which had No Way Out, which I like that song, but not a lot. But yeah, so you got Knee Deep in the Hoopla, No Protection, and then Grace gets kicked out, and then boy. Like the Sky on the, you know what, truthfully, you're correct, and that to me, along with the Boba Fett cartoon, was probably the highlights of that Star Wars holiday special. Seriously, because the rest of it was shit. That's what it was. In this Star Wars fan's opinion. And it's on YouTube, most of it. I remember it did get flagged for one version because of that Jefferson Starship Like the Sky. But I'm told that somebody else reloaded it up, and you can actually see that part now, unless it got taken down in the last month or so, because I happened to trip on it. But I didn't hurt myself. Yeah, Miracles is... And you know what's funny? It's barely anybody plays that longer version, Glenn. Chicagoland, I heard the longer version of Miracles, but not down here. But yeah, you hung out with China K. Whistler, I'm sorry. She's down to earth and cool. No pretensions. I'm an idiot. Sorry about that. I touched the wrong button. I'm an idiot. Can you tell me who China K is, Whistler? I try to keep up, but it's really, really hard on everything. That's what she said. Exactly. All right. So I showed you that stuff. Let's get to the vinyl and things, and then I'll show you what I got from Dig It Record Barn. Okay. Let's see. Oh, they had these neat little bags, $5. I didn't have a bag. So I'm like, I bought $5. Yeah, Grace. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, China. Told you I'm not with it. Danny, did you like the Ruby Star with BOA? She has a great voice for the band and looks great on stage. You know what? I'll tell you something. If I was a teenager in the 70s, I would have been drooling over Ruby Star. She was so hot. A.K.A. Connie, cannot pronounce the last name. And you know what? I recently, maybe within the last year, acquired the Grace Star album Telephone Sex from 1984. You should see the cover of that. She looks... All right. So remember I told you that there was a bunch of cheap albums. Now, I know this might be pedestrian for you guys, but I never had this for some reason. Maybe it was because it was more expensive than $2. Decent condition from 1970. Stephen Stills. I've never had this one. Okay. And yes, I know it's got Love the One You're With. Here's the front, here's the back. And of course, okay, on Atlantic. But yeah, Ruby Star, by the way, real quickly, there was some previously unreleased Ruby Star. The tape was given to Ricky Lee Reynolds before Ricky Lee died, and he got it mastered. Cabal Records, that's CABAL Records, go online. It's called the Ruby Star Tapes, and it's stuff she did from, I think it was 90 to 93. So, I mean, you'll hear some never before heard Ruby Star. And also on that label is a Live at Winterland 1975 Ruby Star and Grey Ghost live gig. So who's on this thing? This just blew my mind in a way, okay? I mean, but you're talking 1970. Crosby, Stills, and Nash already put out that album, right? About a year before this. So just let me entertain you as to who's on this thing, because I just didn't realize there was this many people on such a really cool album. So first we go with, I hope I can read this here, Love the One You're With, okay? So, other than Steven, you got, okay, on your voices, your background voices, you got Rita Coolidge, Priscilla Jones, of course, Booker T's wife, Booker T. Jones' wife, not the wrestler. John Sebastian, yeah, Lovin' Spoonful, and David Crosby and Graham Nash. So technically, this is a Crosby, Stills, and Nash song. Think about it. Also, God, I'm having a hard time reading this. And uncredited, by the way. And I've heard this in 2 different interviews. Peter Tork from the Monkees actually sings background as well on that track. So, yeah, right? You know what, I'll tell you something. I never liked David Crosby. I did like Graham Nash. But Stills, I'm going to say, for a little while was neck and neck. But I'm really starting to like him a little bit better. I still like Graham Nash. But I think Stills, he doesn't get enough love. I don't think so anyway. So that's the first track, right? So the second track pretty much is just all Stephen Stills. Then you get to the third track, which is Church. Now, on Church, let's see here. I am so sorry. You've got... Actually, it doesn't look like anybody important. Sorry. Track 4, Old Times, Good Times. Lead guitar, Jimi Hendrix. That's right. Stephen Stills, Jimi Hendrix on one track. You got to get this to listen to it, or go to YouTube, doesn't matter. But Old Times, Good Times. So you got Stephen Stills and Jimi Hendrix, and that's pretty much it for any namer type people. The next track here, Go Back Home. All right, Go Back Home. You got Eric Clapton's on it. So you got Stills and Clapton, right? And then, once again, background voices. Rita Coolidge, Priscilla Jones, John Sebastian, Cass Elliot, David Crosby. All right? So you got that track. We're almost done with... Actually, that was the end of side 1. Side 2, Sit Yourself Down. You got Stephen Stills, once again, on your background voices. Rita Coolidge, Priscilla Jones, John Sebastian, Cass Elliot, David Crosby, and Graham Nash. To a Flame, you got Stills, drums by Richie, a.k.a. the ever-fabulous Ringo. That's right, Ringo, yes, is on here. 2 tracks, actually, on Stephen Stills. That's track 1. Black Queen is pretty much all him. He wrote, was recorded live, and the performance is courtesy of Jose Cuerva Gold Label Tequila. That is not a sponsor. I'm just telling you, obviously he was blitzed and snookered on that when he was recording that. All right, then you get to Cherokee, and you got Stephen, you got Booker T from the MGs on organ. That's nice. Dallas Taylor on drums, who, of course, he was with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. And the arrangement, of course, by Stephen Stills. Last track, We Are Not Helpless. Drums again by Richie, Ringo Starr. Your voices, Rita Coolidge, Priscilla Jones, John Sebastian, Cass Elliot, David Crosby, Graham Nash, Booker T. Jones, and I cannot read the rest of that, but there also appears to be a chorus on this too. So there you go. So what have we learned here? For several of these tracks, they're really Crosby, Stills, and Nash albums with Stills doing the leads. You get them. You get Jimi Hendrix on a track. You get Ringo Starr on 2 tracks. You get Booker T and the MGs on several tracks, along with Rita Coolidge, Cass Elliot, and John Sebastian. $2. You can't screw this up. You really can't. Go get it. I'm not kidding. I cannot wait. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow because I'm really just kind of getting tired. I love it. Exactly. And Piccolini, I'm going to tell you something. I have from a friend of a friend who was in Grey Ghost, but he was in the late 70s Jeez, I think he might have been in the last album for Capitol. I could be wrong on this. And he stayed with her for at least for part of the 80s. Oh, dear Lord, wonder what the royalty... Yeah, no kidding. How about the Stills Young Band from 76? You know, Long May You Run is a wonderful track. I love that. They used to play that once in a while in Chicago radio. I did not know that. That is a nice fact, Will. I'm glad you said. I'm glad you told me. Come over to the house. Let's make a record. Those days in the community. You know what? I still need to see that Laurel Canyon documentary. I've got a lot of different people seriously tell me that it's a really good documentary. But yeah, I mean, I don't really honestly think that there's such a community anymore. You know, the 60s and the early 70s were definitely different times. And yeah, fine, drugs, free sex, maybe not so free sex, depending on the scenario you get, and a lot of other things. But there was a lot of musical fellowship across various genres. I'm sorry, but today's music doesn't have that. That flavor, in my opinion, disappeared in the 70s, okay? I'm not saying that 80s honor shit. I'm just saying it's different. The climate's different. All right, what do I show next? We went and did the $2, right? Next, I didn't get that much vinyl. I'm sorry. And like I said, most of it was because they didn't have what little I had on my want list. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I should have introduced with this first. You're probably going to roll your eyes on this, but you know, since John Humphrey from Seether, I almost said Seizure, that's not right. John Humphrey from Seether was kind enough, like I said, to sign the CD and have the picture with me. I did buy for $5. Now, I had this album, okay, and Doug Fields pulled this out of a box and said, hey, guess what I found? So I have... Yeah, once the evilness of the... Yeah, that's... You know, you're not lying there. You're not. So Doug's got a copy of this, and now I have one too. From 19... Now, obviously by the sticker, you're going to be able to tell that this either is a secondary press or they had original copies, slapped the damn sticker on this thing, because the original was late 65, if I remember correctly. You're talking about on Colpix, David Jones, right? But, and I've showed this before, but I didn't have a Star of the Monkees, his first album. This is a nice hype sticker on here, and it's not on all the copies, by the way. But this kind of shows you at least you're looking at least 1966 that this got slapped on. And it's in nice shape for $5. I couldn't screw that up. Is it a good album? Not really. But, you know, it could have been worse. Could have been worse. Now, I was able, on my last vinyl I'm going to show you, and then I have some musical DVDs unauthorized that I'll show you in a minute here too. Laurel and Topanga are still nice. Old houses still stand, but nowadays we don't even know our neighbors. Well, that's true, yeah. We don't know our neighbors anymore, much less, oh, I'm sorry, have open doors and friends wandering in. Yeah, I think truthfully the whole Charles Manson kind of took the wind out of everybody's sails. So everybody knows, or most of you people know, that of course I'm originally from Chicagoland. And because I'm originally from Chicagoland, when I went off and oh yeah, I'm gonna have to re-listen. I just don't remember. The last time I played that thing was probably a year and a half ago, seriously. So I ended up, you know, I tried to get Chicago area bands, old stuff, 50s to 70s mostly, but I have got a handful of 80s local Chicago vinyl. Not Chicago the band, Chicago bands, right? Okay. And so to find this at a reasonable price, okay, from 1969. I actually was looking for this for a couple of years. Just never found a copy, literally, on a Columbia 2i aorta. Look at that cover. I know there's a glare, but see that? That is crazy for 69. I said 69. Anyways, this is a gatefold, which pretty much, as you could see, look, it's got the heart. And you're young at heart. And lyrics. Now, what you can't really, and I'll show you. Here's the back. The 4 guys, right? So, what you don't see on here is it says on the bottom, above the Columbia logo, a Dunwich production. Now, you guys that know, okay, you know what Dunwich is. Other than, wasn't Dunwich a H.P. Lovecraft? Something to do with Dunwich. So they took that from that, okay? Not to be confused with the band H.P. Lovecraft. But, you know, Dunwich was pretty much a big production from about 1965 to, I want to say, let's see, I want to say 71-ish, because the Hardy Boys, not Nancy Drew Hardy Boys, but Hardy Boys cartoon, both albums were a Dunwich Bill Trout production. They made a second. I feel like an idiot. Maybe that's what he's talking. Tyler, I'm going to tell you a story, and this is a true story, but about 20 years ago, I worked in a guard shack in Fontana, Wisconsin, near Lake Geneva. I had a member of this band. Don't ask me who. I do remember his name was Jim. And on this album, either Jim Donlinger or Jim Nyholt, I spoke to one of those two. I don't know which of the two. I spoke to him for about a couple minutes because they brought up aorta. He came back and gave me a burned CD. I think it could have been, I don't know if I still have it, with maybe some unreleased that never got let out. It was cool stuff, seriously. Yes, David, yeah, that's why he had to change to Bowie. So Dunwich production. Secondly, the drummer on this particular album, who is this dude here, the guy with the thing there, trying to look like the guy from Dobie Gillis, or John Kay, either way. Well, no, he had the mustache, but Billy Herman, not Pee Wee Herman, Billy Herman, who was the drummer previously for the Chicagoland band, the New Colony Six. That's right. He was on Revelation and Attacking a Straw Man on Mercury Records. I'm really happy to have this in the collection. I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't heard one lick of this album. I said one lick. At least that I know of, unless there was some on the burned CD that he gave me 20 years ago, and I'm not going to remember. So aorta, not a bad price. I'm not going to lie. Remember, I told you I'm a cheapskate normally. This thing was $25, and it was priced firm, and I'm like, I have not seen a copy at that price. Before I go to the DVDs, let me tell you what I did see that made me, I was like, I didn't have a lot of money to play with. I did come across a decent looking copy of the double album from January 1971 on Cold Gems Records, the last Monkey record, the last Cold Gems released record, Barrel Full of Monkeys. That's right. And I know you're sitting there going, well, hey, jackass, why are you wanting monkey comps? Okay, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not a completist in a lot of bands, okay? Let's face it, I'm a big Beatle fan. Do you think I'm going to get everything from the Beat? It's not going to happen, money-wise, right? At least when it comes to the Monkees, okay? And we're talking U.S., because foreign stuff, there's a whole bunch of stuff. In the United States, 9 studio Cold Gem albums. 9. And then you get Monkey Golden Hits 1970 from Post Serials. That was you sent the coupon in. And then Barrel Full of Monkeys, okay? So 11, and the greatest hits. I apologize, from 69. So 12 Cold Gems records on the Monkees, okay? That's LPs. Then there's 2 jukebox EPs, which I still need to find. Joe Mayo's got more of the Monkees jukebox EPs signed by Mickey Dolenz at the Beatle Fest or Chiller Theater, whatever it was. And that was cool. I've never seen one. H.P. Lovecraft's first album I inherited from my aunt. You know what? I don't have that first one. I do have the second album, H.P. Lovecraft. I did come across the first album, and it would get this. It was a white label promo on Philips. Scratched to holy hell. That's the only reason why, and I didn't think the price was worth it. That's all there is to it. And by the way, they made one more album after those 2, but they dropped the HP and just became Lovecraft. There wasn't many original members left in that band by that point. But I'm going to tell you this. There is a member of H.P. Lovecraft that lives, I'd say, less than an hour from me. And I am trying to get a better location of where he's at. He's the drummer. Hopefully I'll get to meet him down the line shortly. But yeah, I'm looking for that first one. And I'm looking for that Lovecraft album too, although I'm told that the music on that is kind of different from those first 2. And then they were around until about 1976-ish in Chicagoland. So go figure, right? The stupid shit I know. So $60 was what he had for Barrel Full of Monkees. Double album. Nice shape. And it was on Dynaflex. To my knowledge, that's the only Cold Gems U.S. Monkey release that was on Dynaflex. And I don't know. You know, I guess I'm on the fence with Dynaflex. I have played some Elvis. I've played some Harry Nilsson. Hell, I even think I played a Bowie, and it was on Dynaflex. And they sounded all right to me. Just as long as they sound right. But boy, when you can bend them almost to the point of breaking, that's something else. So the guy, though, was kind. That dealer is going to be at a record show next month in Springfield, Missouri, okay? And if you are in the Springfield, Missouri area, you could meet the Mighty Psycho on Sunday, April 7th. Sunday, April 7th at the Relics Event Center, 2015, West Battlefield. $5 to get in. Door prizes. You know, hopefully it's not John Densmore or Robbie Krieger, because I can only feed me. And hopefully it's not a garage door, because there's no way in hell I could bring a garage door home on my car. That is a fact. And it says, mark your calendars and tell your friends. Right. Oh, Tyler, there's a 4th album. Right. That I didn't know that. Okay, I'm an idiot. I didn't know that there was this one being the 4th. I thought it was the 3rd, so my bad. Do I have any 13th Floor Elevator or Roky Erickson? Piccolina, I did have some solo Roky, okay? I had the Evil Ones, and, oh, jeez, I had an import. Oh, boy. I can't remember the cover. The import was on CBS, if I remember right. And I want to say both albums had half of CCR backing them, which I thought was always kick-ass. I would love to have some OG 13th Floor. Obviously, that's a little more pricey. You know, I still say my favorite is Slip Inside This House. I love that song. Oh, yeah, that's right, Dolly and Waylon, sure. Hey, Dave from Wyoming. So, Springfield, Missouri, April 7th. if you are in the Springfield, Joplin, Kansas City area, go take a peeky, and you could meet Mighty Psycho again. I'll tell you, I had some fun. I did. So, hang on a second here. Oh, yeah, and then I stopped at a table that had some free stuff. So I got 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition Roseanne Cash the Wheel. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Of course I kindly will accept free CDs. And not only that, it was only one of two that I recognized. I don't mind trying new bands, but I don't know. This compelled me. So, yeah, but courtesy of Rumble Strip. All right. Hello. Okay. DVDs, right? So, one of them you'll probably be scratching your head at. These are unauthorized. TMOQ Gazette, Hey Jude and Revolution contains previously unreleased video material. Here's in my radio voice. Watch and hear the Beatles creating one of their most popular songs, Hey Jude. This set includes a great deal of never-before-seen Abbey Road Studios footage in outstanding quality with streaming stereo sound. It also contains all takes of the complete Hey Jude and Revolution promotional videos for the first time in full resolution, as well as a generous helping of bonus material containing all the videos for these two songs. This set is a must for all Beatle fans. Now, it says on here, you get Hey Jude Studio Rehearsal Stereo, St. Louis Blues, take 1, 2, and 3. Hey Jude Original Promo Videos, Unedited, take 1, 2, 3. Revolution Original Promo Video, Unedited, take 1, take 2. Bonus videos, Smothers Brothers, when they showed it on there, October 6, 1968, the Hey Jude clip. 13th of October of that year, Revolution. November 17, 1968, George Harrison cameo, and Original Experiment is TV segment with redubbed audio. So that's one of them, right? And all of them were, the single discs were $10, the double discs were $15. I thought that was kind of neat. That's right, it was a Rumble Strip, Mike. All right. So this next one, I actually wasn't, it's never going to get legitimately released. I will be completely amazed. If it does, they'll be like scraping the bottom of the barrel for Apple, okay? The Beatles Complete Cartoon Collection. 2 discs, 39. Oh boy. Oh boy. 9 hours of animated Beatle adventures. 39 episodes over 3 seasons. And so basically, if you guys ever saw the show in its original heyday anyway, I mean, just to give you the perspective. So episode 1, first season, right? You had A Hard Day's Night, I Want to Hold Your Hand, and then there was sing-alongs of Not a Second Time and Devil in Her Heart. The last episode of season 3, episode 39, you get Wait, and I'm Only Sleeping, and sing-alongs of Penny Lane and Eleanor Rigby. Now, I don't know how correct I am on this, but I could have recalled at one point or another that there's a potential for 1 or 2 alternate takes. They were not the records. It was, I don't know what happened, if there was a mastering screw up or whatever, but supposedly there may be 1 to 2 alternate takes as well. That's a nice added bonus for me anyway. But I wanted these damn cartoons because in the 70s in Chicagoland, they only showed them in one station, Channel 44. So you had to go UHF and go to Channel 44, and they would play these things. I can't remember if they were, if it was once a week or, Monday through Friday. I can't remember that part. I want to say it was like on the weekends. They would play one 30-minute clip. And so I got to see some of it, in the 70s, but I want to say they were taken off air maybe by like 1980, I could have sworn. So, sorry, I really don't think, sorry, not sorry, that I don't see this getting legitimately released. I just don't, and that's why I spent the money on that. Waffle House, they're everywhere. Mwahaha, mwahaha. And you know what? They're all scattered, smothered, and covered. I saw the original series in the 60s. I thought the guy who did Lennon's voice sounded suspiciously like one of the Rookie and Bullwinkle actors. Oh, come on, Bullwinkle, not again. But, it could have been. I don't know. Hey, Rookie, watch me pull a rabbit out of my ass. Again? That never works, Bullwinkle, you fucker. I ain't right in the head. I'm not left either. So, let me get a little more coffee, and we're going to get to the second part of the video, a.k.a. remember, the title said, 4-state record show finds, dig it, and we're going to get to the dig it part in a minute, because it's some cool stuff. Ooh, and maybe my next musical adventure in a couple weeks at Dig It. Oh, and my leg is killing me today, guys. I don't understand. I'm talking about my new knee, my new replacement knee. And I don't get it because I stand at work all day for 8 hours and it doesn't bother me. And here I am, and after 3 hours of walking around all of those 50 dealer tables, it was killing me by noon. I'm like, I had to sit down. It was that bad. I mean, it wasn't excruciating. Put it up my sleeve. It's a Rush album. Oh, New York. Never been there. Neither have I. Channel 44 Beale cartoons and later Sox games with Harry Carey and Jimmy Pearsall. Yes, that's how I knew of Harry Carey. Yes, I used to watch those Sox games. I did. I watched them more at night, though, because obviously Comiskey was lit way before 1988. Do I wish I was there for Disco Demolition? Ooh, I don't know. That would have been a big mess. New York. Let me hold on a second here. I could maybe do this. Hang on. Hold on. Hey, wife, Steve. You say Sean Dunstan's up the bat. He's Thunder Pup. We're not entirely sure why. Ooh, hey, Arnie, why don't you go and pan that camera up there with the girl with the big tits? Wait a minute. Holy cow. It might be. It could be. It is. Can I have our Budweiser? I love Tim. I met him over half a dozen times, and Steve Stone a couple times too. Well, Harry, nobody gives a shit what you say, Steve. Yeah. Wait a minute. Okay. Thank you, WSNS. Ted Speed Racer 2. Oh! Oh! Hey, can I tell you something? I changed the lyrics to that song. Here's my little thing here, okay? I know this is so bad. I came up with this like about a year ago. Speed Racer is an octogenarian. He has to come back for one last race against Racer X, his unknown brother. in the last movie. Pete Racer. Mr. Incontinent. Go, Pete Racer, go! All over the drag strip. What's this yellow? Oh! Did you hear the Bob and Tom skit of the... Yes, but I can't read it. I like making up my own shit. I go up and go, like he's getting ready to go, all right, everybody, we're going to go off and have the Chicago Cubs against the Milwaukee Brewers. Right after these commercial messages from Budweiser, here's our lineup for today. Oh, boy. It starts out sounding normal. Ryan Sandberg, Andre Dawson, Rafael Palmeiro, Three-Fingered Mordecai Brown, Tinkers to Evers to Chance. It just gets, and let's see who the fuck's another one. And Andy Pathko. It's just like, what the fuck? And if you got all those references, good for you. You're a Cubs fan and maybe a Bud man. Arnie Harris always got the shots of the babes on TV. Hey, Arnie, can you go up third row of the bleachers? She's got a sweet ass. Listen, Harry. Shut up, you gay. Go take that cigar and put it somewhere the sun don't shine. Okay, wait, here's another one. I know I'm being so obtuse and obnoxious. The other part I like is Will Ferrell when he's just, the moon is made of green cheese. It's so stupid. Arnie Harris, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Let's see, what the hell? I was going to say Whitey Herzog, but that's not correct. Sorry. Tom Zimmer's on the field, and he's kicking the umpire. He's pissed. There's a famous video of Jerry Reaney, longtime Red Sox fan, or Red Sox announcer. Here's a young couple enjoying the game, and the guy cops a feel on camera. And all you could hear was... I would have been doing that too. For the next 10 minutes, oh God. I wonder if they were snickering or tittering. He's like, fuck. All right. Totally unrelated. Found this for $1. Paul McCartney, This World Tonight. CD single, 3-track from 97. All right. So I went to Dig It Music Barn. Dig It. Oh, yeah. And by the way, before I get into this, the next 4-state record show, you got plenty of time for this. Same venue, Carthage, Missouri. Saturday, July 27th from 9 to 3. It's on Mr. Garrison Avenue. Mr. Garrison. And you know what? There's a decent Chinese joint there. There is, because me and Doug Fields, we ate there for lunch. And, unfortunately, I cannot remember the name of that damn place. But when the T-shirt crinkled up on the worker, I thought it said Bimbo's Palace. That's what I thought. I almost said, what the hell? Rem Dog was a gem. Glad we have. I miss the Rem Dog. Oh, God. The Rem Dog. That's cool. That poor guy had to live with a son who was in prison for murder, man. Then oh, God, that's brutal. So Dig It Record Barn is where I went to, and it's literally in a barn. Yeah, just in Joplin. It's kind of on a quiet road, honestly, off of an off-ramp, really off an exit. You got to go down a little bit, but it's neat. There's also a little bookstore, kind of there too, outside. And they had new vinyl, used vinyl, CDs, cassettes, stereo equipment. They even had a bunches of 78s, ladies and gentlemen. They were very serious on this stuff. Unfortunately, though, as much as I did love the staff, they were all very friendly. Some of those albums were a little pricey. Just saying. Maybe I'll go back again. But I did learn something here, ladies and gentlemen, that I did not know. I do not know if this is a new release, but I don't understand why it was released now in 2024. It says it on the back cover. And Molly Hatchet's got a new album, but it's really not new. Okay. I don't understand this, to be honest with you. Okay. So, as we know, or if you're Molly Hatchet fans, Bobby Ingram owns the name and the trademark since I think 1995. He bought it first. Him and Danny Joe Brown bought it from Pat Armstrong, the manager, and then I'm told he bought Danny Joe's share because Danny Joe retired in 95. So Ingram has owned the trademark, the name, that stuff. So he has been ruling that band with, for about 15 years, from like 95 to about 2010, with no original members whatsoever. Okay. The only other member that was there was John Galvin, keyboard player. And Bobby Ingram and John Galvin both came from the Danny Joe Brown band from the early 80s that cut that one album while Danny was out and Jimmy Farrar was in. And so John Galvin, he comes in at keyboards from 84 on. The Deed Is Done, that album on, he plays keys. And that's pretty much it for your attachment. Now, Bobby Ingram, he comes in as a member in late 1987 after Dave Hulbeck, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, gets fired due to, I heard, drugs. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I read. And so Bobby Ingram took over by early 88. They did an album on Capitol in 1989 called Lightning Strikes Twice, and I am looking for that on vinyl. It does exist. I had one copy in my hands. They wanted a ridiculous amount of money. I said, but I got all the other Molly Hatchet studio albums, at least of the original era. Now, saying that, the album that just got put out was called Jukebox Saloon. The cover's interesting. I always liked all the Molly Hatchet album covers anyway, whether it was Frank Frazetta, Ken Kelly, there was a couple other ones that did drawings. Dave Hulbeck came back into the band around 2010, 2011, I want to say, and he's on this record, and so is Jimmy McCormick. And McCormick's dead, and Hulbeck's dead. So that's how I know that this stuff has got to be, archival material, and it's all cover songs, including, which I do not understand, why they tackled Flirting with Disaster. I'm like, why? Why does a band cover their own stuff as part of a cover album? I'm like, and they did like Mississippi Queen, and I think there's like only 6 or 7 tracks on this album, and I'm just like, jeez. I don't know. I was talking to Doug Fields on our way home, and I said, here's the thing. It's one thing if a band is going to cover a song, release it as a single, voila, they do it differently, okay? Hey, this sounds great. Couldn't even tell it was the original. It's a different arrangement. I love stuff like that. That kind of goes to show you the intensity and the creativity that a band can have in taking somebody else's work and turning it into their own with a little signature of it, you know? But when a band, and I'm sorry, when a band does all covers for an album, to me, I think it's a little bit lazy, okay? I can understand if a band wants to show their influences on their sleeve. All right, I get it, okay? But I'm sorry, I just think it's pure laziness. If you're going to do it for a single, that's one thing. I just don't see that an album really should be like that. Let's see, we got a whole bunch of the pizza throw. Oh, boy. Yeah, the infamous pizza throw. Boomer Big George. Yeah, George Scott was a good one for Red Sox. Louis Tiante, is that who you're talking about? I ended up, Louis Tiante, okay. I met Louis many years ago. I actually had got a couple cards signed. Ken Kelly Kiss, oh yeah, I love those covers. Seriously, I do. Spaceman Bill Lee, yeah. Dwight Evans in right field, man. Did that guy have an arm? Dwight was good, wasn't he? Fisk, oh, you betcha. Carlton Fisk, before he came to the White Sox, when he was the Bo Sox, you betcha. When you want to go old schoolers, Yastrzemski, Yaz. You know, I liked Yaz. I almost had a chance to see Yaz. I'm kind of was real pissed. I couldn't make it that day, or I would have met Yaz. My daughter won number 27, then had to swap just like Pudge Fisk. She flipped it for 72. How many people know that Warren Zevon wrote a song no, I didn't know that either, the Pudge. The Pudge. That's right. But I liked him anyway. So, Dig It Record Barn. They have lots of 45s. They had some 45s in a special room. And it was $5 for $1. Couldn't screw it up, so I got a small stack. So I'm going to show you what I got here for all you 45 lovers. I love 45s. All right. Merwood is more known of a label for soul, R&B, that kind of stuff, okay? I will grab anything on Merwood. That's all there is to it. This one here, never heard of these people. Jackie Lee and Dolores Hall, Baby, I'm Satisfied, all right, on Merwood. There is some scuff marks, but I think it can get cleaned out. On Atlantic, Billy Graham, no, not the Reverend, and oh my God, I can't read this. I'm sorry, I can't read this. But hey, it's that classic, memorable Ooh Papa Doo. It's Old Atlantic. 20 cents, I'm going to get it. Now here's one I didn't know about. I did not know that the Flamingos did a 45 on Phillips. Yeah, the doo-wop group. Some people think I'm so old that Babe Ruth and I went to high school together. Well, that's what I thought I heard too. Just kidding. Untrue, it was only our babysitter. That would have been a cool-ass babysitter. He spiked your milk. Oh my God, could you imagine that? Fed you hot dogs and steak when nobody was looking. Jay and the Techniques, but it's not Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie. No, I know you can't tell, but it's on Smash, but it's not that. It is Help Yourself to All My Love. Another goofy label, though, Fedora. Okay, Fedora, high heels and no soul. That'd make a great album cover. Paul Harper. Here's a Coasters 45, and it's not Charlie Brown, Yakety Yak, or anything else like that. Don't talk back. Idol with the Golden Head. Not to be confused with Gold Member. Dr. Evil, can I paint as you gold? No, you crazy Dutch bastard. I wish the guy would have made up his mind. Just what kind of pie does he want? Apple, peach, or pumpkin? Oh, God, this is going to be so inappropriate. I like hair. Anyways. Okay. That was so wrong, wasn't it? But you know what? Apple and pumpkin are my favorite. Yeah. Or caramel apple. Walmart has great caramel apple pie. It's tasty if you've never had it. That's what she said. All right. Night Star Records. Never heard of them. Shane King, 5 Men of History. I'm not one of them. On Empola, Billy Wayne with Impressions on a Rich Man. That ain't me. And then lastly, I thought this was very cool, and it's actually not in bad shape. It just needs to be cleaned a little bit. Okay, well, one side's not bad. The other one's got a couple light to medium scratches, but for 20 cents, I ain't gonna bitch. Gene Vincent Rocks and the Blue Caps Roll EP. Yeah, I have not ever had a Gene Vincent EP. So that was my stack of wax. You know what, guys? I appreciate you guys hanging here. I had up to 16 people in here. I saw that. You guys must be bored, and I love it. So, I don't know. I think I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon because we're at an hour and a half. But, oh, let me tell you what the next thing that's coming to Dig It Record Barn. So, if you're a fan of Missouri rock and roll, March 23rd at Dig It Record Barn in Joplin, okay, there will be several members. Now, I don't know who yet. No, not the Who, but of the rock band Missouri. All right, they only cut 2 albums, Missouri and Missouri 2, 1977 and 79, respectively. Their big major label was the Missouri 2 on Polydor. They landed on Polydor. They were getting ready to work on a 3rd album, and Polydor dropped them, I guess, and that was the end of that. It's supposed to be pushing 70 here tomorrow. I think the same thing, believe it or not. It was 70 today and sunny. It was a beautiful day. Will be a great day. Yeah, the invitation work. Will you be traveling next month to catch the eclipse? No. You know what? I'll tell you something. I think it's neat. Don't get me wrong. But when my wife Jess was still alive, we saw, I think it was 2017, I think was the last one. And yes, it was a partial. For me to go to catch the full strength of the eclipse, I can do it in Arkansas, but, oh God, I can't remember what town. It's like 2 or 3 hours away, I think, to go catch it. And I'm like, you know what? I think it'll be fascinating. Don't get me wrong. I like space stuff. Okay. It's just, I'm not in the mood to go down somewhere for 2 to 3 hours just to get a few minutes of pleasure. Wait, oh God, that didn't sound right either. This must be how. Insert foot in mouth. Anyways, so no, I don't think so. I'll just. I'm assuming at least I'll get to see a partial. It's in April, right? Next month. I'll have to find out what day and just to coordinate it from there. Hopefully I'm off work that day, and I'll just go out and my. You know how I looked at it last time. We're already selling these eclipse glasses already. I saw them at Casey's gas station. I'm just like, I know you guys are going to think, I think I still have my eclipse glasses, but do you remember when they used to have, this is for old schoolers here, when you get your film developed and the ends of the strips were blank? we did this once for school, grade school in the 70s, okay? We rubber banded about 6 to 8 of those strips together, and you would take it with one eye closed and one, through the strips, you could see it, and it really didn't, it was like a big filter. It didn't hurt, it didn't make you go blind or nothing, but that's how I do it. Is you think the 8? I'll have to look into that. I was supposed to come here in Tennessee to see it in 2017, but I broke my leg out. Yeah, you can't fly when you break your leg. The pressure will get you. It's extreme eastern Arkansas. Oh, God. If it's extreme eastern, there's no way in hell. I'm not going to lie. I've lived in Arkansas for 17 years, and the farthest, I'm trying to think, the farthest east that I've been, considering that we're northwest Arkansas, the farthest east I've been, Hot Springs, Conway. I mean, I know Little Rock, is kind of east also, but I mean, Malvern and Benton, which of course, Jerry Van Dyke had an ice cream shop in Benton. I tried to meet him, but his store was closed by the time I got there. I'm like, and I mean closed for good. I was like, damn it. I would have liked to have met Jerry Van Dyke, because I heard that he actually would work there 50% of the time, and if you showed up at the right time, yes, that's right, he'd make you your ice cream sundaes and banana splits. That would have been fun. I would have loved to have shot the shit with him for 2 minutes. But I digress. He's gone too now. But his brother Dick is still here. I can't believe it. He's like 98 now, right? I'm glad he's here, and now that he's been here, I hope he gets to live to be 100. I really am rooting for him. 2 years is a long way, kids, but hopefully he'll make it. My lady friend's coming up for a long weekend that weekend. We will be busy taking care of other things. Anyways. Wow, I lost half my damn audience. Was it my obnoxiousness or the eclipse? I don't know. I'm just teasing. I love you guys. I really, really do. I'm going to try to make some trips this year, but I'm not promising. No, not that. How far are you from KC? I am led to believe, Glenn, I think it's a 3-hour drive if I took straight expressways. 3 hours, I think, to get there from northwest Arkansas. So yeah, at the Dig It Record Barn, March 23rd, I'm going to bring my Missouri albums and hopefully get them signed by, because there's a couple band members that are dead. In fact, that they're going to be honoring Ron West. I don't know when Ron West died. I tried looking up at the website. The website hasn't been, except for the death, hasn't been updated since 2008. So I don't know when Ron died, but that's why they're getting back together, I guess. I don't know if there's a book being written or something like that, but I mean, it'd probably have some interesting stories in it at least. And yeah, get to hopefully have a 3-hour tour. Related, no. I like Leslie. Thank God I got to see Mountain in 2005. Leslie West, Corky Lang, and of course Felix being dead. It was Richie Scarlett was on bass, who of course was in Ace Frehley's band, and if I remember correctly, the last version of Frehley's Comet. I could be wrong on that, but yeah. So that was a great kick. They opened for Deep Purple. Both bands were great that night. Leslie, indeed. I'll tell you, as much as I love Mississippi Queen, I think my favorite still is Nantucket Sleigh Ride. I will crank that son of a bitch up to about 15 if I could when that song comes on, because yes, that's right. I will do air drums when that one comes on, because I'm just like, I do that too a lot, by the way. I go off and I badly lip sync. I badly sing. I'll do the air guitar. My air guitar string broke, but I can't seem to find another one. See what I did there? Air bass, air drums, air keyboards. sometimes all in the same song. It depends on how good the song is. I'm a nerd. All right. Mike's got to run. Piccolina's going to go. Got a bunch of other people. So please pray for my granddaughter, Charlotte. The surgery was successful. She's got to be monitored for a week. She is going to get woke up from her medicinal sedation tomorrow. And, it's one thing, when something like that happens, guys, I'm going to get serious for a second. I liked West Bruce and Lang. I had those LPs, but I don't know what happened to them. I don't have them anymore. But when you guys, when you or me out here, we get hurt or we have to get surgery or we're sick real bad, yes, it sucks. Yes, it's painful and hurts. But we're adults. We kind of have some type of a response, a way of dealing with or trying to deal with. When there's a baby that's only, going to be a week old by then, almost, was born on the 28th, Charlotte was. And, I just feel so bad for any baby like that, not just my granddaughter, because they're barely in the world. They don't know. The only thing they maybe has is instinct from the mom and dad, maybe. There's nothing else. That is when you know that it's all up to God. It really is all up to God. And I thank the prayer circles and the prayer chains and the prayer requests. I'm not kidding you. I've had 5 churches back with me on this because I'm just like, little kids, little babies don't deserve it. I learned something, though. You love your family, okay? You savor every moment you possibly can. And if you can't, just at least tell them you love them daily. All right, I'll get off my damn soapbox. Anyways, bye Piccolina, bye Glenn, bye Mike, bye everybody. I'm glad. Thank you for coming here. And I actually held back some vinyl finds. We're going to talk about maybe Wednesday. I'm not going to promise. Maybe Wednesday we'll do another show, okay? And by the way, just to let you know, it's my fault that Jukebox from Hell has been slightly delayed, okay? I've done some of the homework. I just have, it's my time issues this week. And like I said, focusing on work and Charlotte and some other matters, I just have not had the chance to finish the newest Jukebox from Hell, but I hope to in the next day or two. All right, guys. Have a great rest of the weekend. Peace, love, and what is it? Peace, love, and burger grease? I don't know. Remember, though, kids, and I can say kids because I'm older than most of you, always powered by coffee each and every time, not sponsored by Waffle House or the 4-State Record Show or Dig It Record Barn or a 3-hour tour. Thank you, guys. You take care. I love you. Best audience I've ever